Alright, the tavern over Saved, a freckled halfling waved to you gladly. Oh, I heard you're the general now. Congratulations. This calls for a celebration. Do you want a drink or just water while you're on duty? Our wife, Karida, stops wiping the cups and gives you a why look. If I had to serve as a general of Farnhold, I'd have to start the day with a glass of gin. But you do that anyway. You say the tavern owner's life is easier than a general. That's true. What's on the menu, boys? Right. Okay. Right, one day we didn't. They confiscated it for the needs of the revolution. But I suppose we should be grateful they let us go alive. They might have finished us off as oppressors and exploiters. Luckily, we were too busy enacting a revolutionary justice in our wine cellar, and we managed to sneak away. The scumbags took everything we had except our common sense. Well, we broke our backs for a few years to scrounge up enough to open a new venue. We heard that there was a new barony, the new town, so we came here. And it's quite a gold mine. The town is growing, and there are more and more people, and all of them need to eat and drink. If Desna wills it, we'll be rich. Come back anytime. I've got a bottle for you. Hello, come in, sit. I am a little busy right now, but I can make some time for you. You're not bothering me over nothing, are you? You fought together for a long time, but I still don't know much about you. Where are you from? People know as much as I allow, which I grant is little. However, a person is defined not by their past, but by their actions. The way they behave when faced with danger and temptation. How they hold up under pressure, and how they spend their leisures. After our many years together, you know me better than most. As far as my homeland, it is of no importance. You do not miss me, and I am no longer to return. How'd you end up in the party? I did not end up in one. I created it. Oh, fucking this guy. I sold everything I had and combined my efforts with a certain hot-tempered young man set on advancing his humble glory as much as I set on increasing my humble savings. As you can see, it was a successful venture. However, I often still ask myself if it was the best decision of my life or the greatest error. See, I think he's going to betray us. You know that? That's what I think. You and Maegar constantly argue about everything. How do you manage to bring Farning's host to victory despite the discord? By America, no less. Oh, Absalon, or whatever they fucking says. Farn is a natural tactician, able to turn defeat into victory with a single maneuver. But strategy, long-term planning, politics, the words are meaningless to them. How many times has he won a war only to lose the peace? How many times has everything we paid for in blood somehow ended up in someone else's fault? Anyway, do not pretend you are a passive bystander to our arguments. Whatever we discuss, you always have an opinion. Yes, I do. Yes. You both defend your options so ardently that you often overlook things. Quite right. You often point out something that allows both of us to see a problem from another angle. Let us be honest, regardless of the point of view, Maegar Farn and I commonly arrive at opposite conclusions. What did you think about the barony's prospects? I am none too hopeful, at least not until Farn gets his head straight and starts learning to see things like a politician, not a brawler. The experience of our shared ventures does not reassure me. Need I remind you how we hunted the noose, that infamous witch? Was that the time we defeated the cunning and powerful enemy using 3 dozen goat horns and a bucket of phosphorescent paint? It was the time we decided we should try on cheap masquerades as a stratagem, ambushing the witch after making the entire party look like a horde of horned demons. I refuse to believe there was any logic behind this. However, Farn's initial plan was so ridiculous that it could hardly have been made any worse. So he was the other one? Alright. I'm using a party leader as bait, risking havoc in case of his death. It was completely insane. and that sums up Fern. He is capable of great insights and bright ideas, but he risks too much and has no sense of consequences. I cannot vouch for the fate of Farnhold if he does not rein himself in. Yes, you and I are both busy people. What a joke to be advisors to a baron who is doing everything in his power to destroy his own state. Yeah, this guy's just a Debbie Downer, isn't he? Debbie Downer, folks. Just a Debbie Downer. Stands half turned to you. There is tension in his pose, though he only stares into the distance. Without turning, he begins to speak. You're right on time. We need to discuss the incident in Dunsward. About 1,000 other things that have done come crashing down on us, along with the Barnhold. What do you need to know about the incident? There's a place in my dominions called the City of Hollow Eyes. Until recently, it was considered quite a peaceful and harmless place, despite its name. But something strange is going on there. Our scouts report that centaurs have attacked the locals, and a gang of cutfolks is wandering in the area. It's a good bet that the centaurs and the bandits were uprooted by something else, something dangerous, or perhaps are drawn to the place by something precious. One day I will certainly become a decent baron. I'll sit on the throne, sip wine and grow fat, but before that wonderful day comes, I hope to add a few more pages to the adventures of the Farling host. So if you're ready, say the word and we'll stretch my legs. No, we need to prepare, mate. How are you coping with everything crashing down on you along with title? Just think of it, I am now a baron, that's right, your grace. He smiles through his gloom. I thought after so many years of leading the party, more responsibility wouldn't be a problem. And I was right. I am not afraid of responsibility, but I am afraid how little freedom I have left. Our wild exploits are over. Of course, I can still steal some time to swing my sword around, but we'll never get back to how it was before. Remember that adventure in the Three Valleys on the border between Rosland and Ischia? When the Noose Witch and her rabble were practically ruling the region, and the Sartovers made it a point to do nothing, waiting for the Aldori to make their move. Jemandi did the wise thing then and set a team of mercenaries, that's us, instead of our own warriors, but we definitely didn't do a single wise thing. Do you remember whose idea it was to use me as the bait? Yep, so it was mine. When would I get another chance to see my commander bound and gagged and packed in a box of rotten apples? Don't start that again. Those apples were quite fresh. After 7 hours in that box, I knew the smell quite well. I still can't stomach apples, or even drink cider. But yes, it was an insane plan, of course. We could have listened to Cephal, waiting for the scouts from Galt, and watched while more and more people went missing. But time was running out, and the Noose was building shrines to demon lords practically out in the open, and doing whatever she pleased. She must have been the most elusive enemy we've ever met, a witch with an incredible talent from conjuration and illusion, and with almost animal cunning. We tracked for over a year and never caught up with her once. But you were right about the plan to make her drop her guard. You'd have to make her feel like the hunter, not the prey. I was the prey. We figured she'd well be distracted by the commander, betrayed by her own people, and sure enough, you were able to seize the wretch. You know, I never told you, but after a moment where I wasn't sure I was going to make it, I was all tied up, laying in that stupid box, and then on the altar, all the while wondering whether you'd ever show up. Would you have enough time? But of course, I never expected what hampered after that. I could just assume you jumped out of the ambush and captured the witch before she had a chance to kill me. I could just as well imagine that you make a mistake, arrive a moment late, and my life would be forfeit. But in the name of Caden Killeen, the one thing I could never have imagined was a horde of horse monsters howling in 100 voices pouring down from all directions. But then I looked more closely at the leader and recognised my loyal assistant, and indeed my future general. I couldn't have been happier if you were an angel come down from the skies. I can wear the horns and demon costumes again, but only on that one condition. You play the prisoner again. How? What do you mean? Tie up my hands and lie graciously on an altar? Then again, for those little horns. Hmm. Have you thought about the future? You mean what will happen when all the dust settles and we straighten things out? That's simple. I'll get old really fast, become a terrible grumpy old man and spend the rest of my days regaling choice guests of the barony with incredible stories about the feats of my past. Without waiting for a reaction to his joke, Maegar suddenly looks away, as if suddenly the play of light and shadow on the floor. Truth be told, I haven't made any real plans for the future. I've barely gotten used to the idea that I'm not a vagrant with a sword, but a baron with my own lands, my own town, my own home. But what does it mean? He stops for a while, then asks in a calm voice, what about you? What life do you see for yourself? Do you see yourself settling here in Farnhold, or maybe you don't like the town and you're sick of me? Just wondering for a chance to find great fortunes elsewhere. I won't leave you, no matter what awaits us. Looks up at you and stares for a long time as if thinking about asking you something, but ends with just a nod. Thank you. You have no idea how glad I am to hear that. Alright, let me ask you a question. How is it that you're sick to death of arguing with Cephal? You've done it every day for years. It's a well thought out strategy. No, I mean it, seriously. I've seen firsthand that the best way to rule is when one person makes the decisions and has the responsibility, but lets everyone else speak and tries to hear them all. No one is perfect, especially mercenary captain the Maegar found. Someone who somehow became a ruler for no good reason. As long as Cephal is with me, as long as I hear him contradicting me at every tiny step, well, I won't risk convincing myself of my own infallibility. Of course, there's another side to this. Making decisions nowadays means drowning in endless arguments, and governing is a competition to find out who's the biggest idiot. That's why you're so important to me. He adds much more seriously. Without you, Cephal and I would end up acting like fools because we wouldn't be able to stop arguing at the right time. First one? As a meteor, I don't argue with several things. You don't know what a great consolation that is. My hair would already be as white as snow as if I had to convince myself every time. And most importantly, whenever you argue with Cephal, then I'd better think seriously about conceding. Alright. Well, I guess...
People always invent such creepy names for old ruins. I bet when the Cyclops were alive, they called that place Goat Smell Walk or something of that sort.
I highly doubt it. The ancient Cyclopes, after all, had far better taste than you.
There were complaints about merchants disappearing in this area, along with their goods. We should look into this.
Alright. I have a shield, which is really annoying. Right, formation. What was that? Oh, sneaky little buggers, eh?
Strike!
Kick it. Just eat goblins. I saw one. If it eats me. Alright, so they think it's a mimic. Could well be. It could well be a mimic, folks. You just never know. If I could stealth into them. I'll have to wait until they're closer, I think. This one quaint glade in the heart of the plains of Onward now resembles a low rocky shore, braced for the crash of a menacing wave. A team of centaurs tower above a handful of people, scraping the ground and rising to their hind legs. From time to time, they seem nearly ready to trample their frightened prey into the mud. Okay. Noticing your party, a woman in simple peasant clothes breaks away from the group and throws herself at Maegar's feet. Your Grace, Baron Farn, our prayers have been answered. We are the villagers of Old Stump. We wanted to build a farm in these lands, but we barely started digging the cellar when these monsters appeared. A muscular centaur with black hide and dark hair leans forward, thrusting out his chest and nearly trampling the woman. However louder, the more your kin you call forth, the fewer will have to rot out from their holes. Maegar raises his hand in a powerful gesture, drawing everyone's attention. What is it you want from these people? What do we want? Two-legged, you ask this? After everything your kin have done? You come to this land uninvited to dig up the ancient graves and attack us, the guardians of the lands. What do we want? We want to clean this world of the dirt you spread. By the signs and patterns of their weapons and clothes, you recognise them as belonging to Noman tribe, a warlike clan of centaurs that long ago settled in these lands. In ages past, this tribe fought back the Paladins who tried to settle the region, and were almost completely wiped out. The Nomen haven't shown themselves for a long time, but they hardly hold any warm feelings towards you. Pendants depicting them in the symbol of Desna, and her aspect known as Mother Moon. You worship Desna, stranger, and the Desna is a good goddess. Do not discredit her with unworthy actions. That's right, we walk under the same moon, stranger. I've always thought it a good sign when hostile parties begin with conversations rather than an arrow in the face. If you will spend your time insulting a stranger, then you will surely spend a moment more to explain in detail what my race and my subjects might have done to offend you. What have we here? Two-legged with reason and dignity, not like the rest, not like the others. They are deaf to our warnings. The centaur nods at the settlers. Fine, I will tell you. I will use the words of the ancient songs and of Ikora Silverfire. He sees far further than any of your sages and rulers. We are the guardians of this land. It is imbued with evil. The centaur speaks in a measured, melodic voice, carefully reciting a sacred teaching. Evil sleeps here, under each burial mound, under each obelisk with one-eyed skull. And you two-leg dig this ground like moles, stealing secret treasures from the ancient graves and tempting their dread magic. You will ruin all. The one who sleeps must continue his slumber. The caged one must remain behind bolt and bar. Do you understand, two-leg one? I'm giving you a chance to take this rabble and leave. Go away from the city of Hollow Eyes, away from the burial mounds, away from the obelisks and other Cyclops ruins. If you turn away from the past, the Noman tribe would leave you in peace. Well, that's just wonderful. By a rough estimate, he just demanded that we relinquish 2/3 of the barony, including the most fertile lands, fields and mines. Only the Baron's rocks in the mountains are free from Cyclops ruins. I don't want bloodshed, we must come to an agreement, maybe? Listen, stranger, we cannot simply leave this land, but if your tribe won't stop threatening the settlers, I will forbid them from entering the Cyclops tomb. My soldiers will patrol the area and punish any trespassers. I would also like to meet the chiefs of yours. You should learn to live side by side. I would also like to learn more about the evil that sleeps here. The Lowmen tribe is led by warrior priestess Ikora Silverfire. He speaks boldly, then frowns. I do not believe a word you say, but I will give you a chance. If the two-leg keep their noses out of the tombs, then we will let them remain. Let them plant their orchards and build their homes, but if a single one breaks our agreement, there will be trouble. You have been warned. Hunters, follow me. We're going to enter that tomb, aren't we? I can sense it. Cephal sheds his nonchalant mask and turns angrily to Maegar. What are you thinking? The creatures are unpredictable savages, and from what we hear, fanatics as well. As soon as a trade caravan unknowingly stops at a wind-worn Cyclops steel, or children run inside a tomb when playing hide and seek, they will return and bring carnage with them. My friend, you can only make deals with equals, with those who think as you do, but not with half-humans. You attack villagers because they're primeval fables. And you would prefer to slaughter them all and be done with it. Until we discover their motives and learn their location and numbers, wouldn't you think it wiser to proceed with caution? This doesn't sound like you, old friend. You would execute a small patrol on a whim to watch all the farmhold burn tomorrow? No. We must learn what we can of their motives and determine the need for an armistice. But do not imagine me blind to menace these centaurs posed to our villages. I will take any steps necessary to protect them. That does not include slaughtering an entire patrol or ultimately a whole tribe, simply because centaurs lack all skill at diplomacy. Your Grace, about the tombs, our young list did go there, to that huge stone vault sticking out of the ground to the south. Well, damn it, I only just promised the centaurs that none of us would set foot in the tombs. If you spot these fools poking around, there will be trouble. General Regent, let us go to that huge stone vault. Wait. Fantastic. Dragon out. The dragon towers over you like a giant rock. His scales are blue to rival the sky, and the neck proudly arches. But one wing sticks out at a strange angle, and his sides are torn and ragged, covered in acid burns. Oh, guest, please, come closer. Don't fear, we can help each other. The dragon utters a word with obvious effort, looking cautiously around. Greetings to you, Sir Polite Dragon. What ill fate brings you to my dominions? Please bear my bluntness, human, but for someone like me, your dominions are just word. I dash through the sky, cutting across the dominions of princelings and kinglet every moment. And over my lifetime, your borders will change 200 times and 200 more. Yeah, he snorts loudly, the closest he can come to laughter, given his condition. A valid point. Then please bear my bluntness as well. Most rulers wouldn't want an unknown dragon in their dominions, especially a blue one like you. Your kind is not known for its kindness. A polite way to say that we usually exterminate and rob your king. The dragon snorts another laugh. I would be happy to spare you my presence, but I am unable. Do you see what has happened to my wing? No, it looks normal with me, folks. Am I missing something here? Only my stubbornness got me over the mountains, but it won't take me any further. My wounds are painful. The acid continues to burn, and the magic stings and stings. Damn, Lithiac is not above robbing and devouring other dragons, but I escaped, and I'll be healed before she finds me again. All I need is an artifact from Mustachio hidden under these slabs. Bring me its wholesome magic, and I will repay you. And yes, I will take myself far away from here. What do you say? Whatever else he may be, he's a living creature and he's in trouble. It shouldn't be difficult to help him, and if he betrays us, well, we know what we can do with traitors. Yeah. Good and bad, you know. Kiss, curse. I don't like the idea of doing battle with a dragon on a whim, but I don't stand for giving him a precious artifact. I'm in a generous mood, so I'll heed the general. Sir Polite Dragon, what is this artifact you acquire? It is here under these slabs. It is guarded by protective magic, but there must be a way to get past. Return to me here. I will be waiting. Okay.